the entry point on a chain of spiritual genetics called reshimot, remembrances. And all of the events that happen in our lives that bridge us between these 613 transformations of the will to receive to the will to bestow that bond us to the Creator, each event is laid out for us in a perfect pattern so that we have the opportunity to recognize what it is that we need to do. Now, this action of correction and transformation, this tikkun, is not done by us. It's done as a result of a desire that we have to make this contact with spiritual light. And as a result of the desire that we have, the work is done by the light. It's an action done on us by surrounding light. The Zohar says, when a person comes to purify themselves, they're help from above. In other words, it's as a result of a gut-level need that used to be a need for those four corporal desires being transformed into a greater and greater need to know what the quality of bestowal actually is. We can't reach this ourselves. This work is called the work of God, not because we go out there like a bunch of nice soldiers and do the job that God assigned us. It's because the work itself of transformation, purification, tikkun, is done on us by the light as a result of an expanding desire. But don't be confused by the word light. Don't think of it as a physical thing. Remember that the quality of the spiritual world is a quality of attributes. It's a quality of intention, feeling states. And if you want to feel the contrast between your intention and the intention of the light, then you can't simply have a desire and have it filled directly by some kind of pleasure the way that we do that in the physical world. In order to feel the difference between our state and the state of the light, my intention and the intention of the light, it's necessary to have a sensor, something that can feel the light. And this sensor must be an intention. It's called a screen. This is what we referred to in our last show as the additional sense, the sixth sense. Now, this screen acts as a resonator, a contrast point between the desire that sends this which is given by the light, and rather than having it just go directly in, it hits this screen and it causes a sensation of difference between the intention here and the intention here. And this screen, or masach, this is the tool. This is the way in which we can turn the will to receive, which is our matter, and the only tool that we have to work with, into something very different. We can begin to feel and receive the light only according to an intention that matches the intention of the spiritual world. Now, we'll deal with this more later. But what happens when this can actually occur, when the feeling in here and the intention in the screen is the same as the intention in the light? This is called a corrected desire. And this contrast creates a need in us, the right need, a particular need. It builds a lack in a particular direction. It makes us want to feel what we don't have, and that is the sensation of the light, the thought, the intention behind the light. And it moves us in the intended direction of greater and greater correction. Every time that a desire moves in transformation from its corrupted form into its perfected form, a transformation from its will to receive to the will to bestow, this puts us in touch with eternity. It connects us more and more to the thought behind the entire process. And not only does it do that for this one particular desire and for one individual, but as a result of the connection and the interconnection in Adam HaRishon, that part of person number one, that desire within person number one, like a hologram, becomes corrected in each one of the other desires and reconnects them to each other. So it raises not only the person who does the correction, but their entire world, so that our perception of our reality, the reason that things happen, the thought behind it, whether or not good and bad things are occurring, this changes. A person can feel the total goodness behind the guidance of the entire system and is no longer fooled by physical ideas of what's good and evil. This perception of the love behind the process is really what enlightenment is. Now we see good and bad events surrounding us, things that we want to happen and things that we feel should not happen. And this sense that we do something right or we do something wrong, that we make a certain act and we're punished for it, that there is a good force and a bad force in reality, this is not reality. This is the way that it appears to the will to receive. And enlightenment means that we can see, despite anything that appears to us, what the real unifying thought is behind that. Join us next time when we look at the force of development, the reason for suffering, and how we can rise above that.